All right, so we're here with John Parilo. Did I pronounce that right?
Yes, sir.
Of wimZr here at Startup Weekend Sacramento. Lovely fall day in the Renaissance Tower downtown. We're going to interview John and find out a little bit about his background. So John, tell us a little bit about yourself. What specifically about your path and journey into entrepreneurship?
Born and raised in Sacramento. I went to Genevieve Didion in South Sacramento. Had a great family growing up. My mom is a CPA and owns her own business, and my dad owns an irrigation pump system business here in Sacramento. So they were both entrepreneurs, and I've always had a passion for businesses. I started businesses when I was a little kid, and that passion just kept growing and growing and growing throughout my years.
Okay. So you are the co-founder of wimZr. Tell us a little bit about wimZr. What's your 30-second elevator pitch or description of wimZr?
wimZr looks to enhance people's experience prior to arriving at any event or destination, connecting them socially and with the most up-to-date information, so that way they can have the best time possible at events. And we've found a niche with event organizers in providing them with a full-service mobile application to benefit their participants, event attendees, sponsors, and really everyone involved with the event itself.
Cool, and how did the idea come about?
So 7 years ago, my partner Blake Morey went to Cabo San Lucas and tried connecting with people before he got to his resort. He was doing it on Facebook, and it just Facebook was primarily for friends, so it didn't quite work in terms of messaging. 2 years later, I went over to Lake Tahoe with college buddies, and everyone was hopping on apps after they arrived at their destination, and they found they were able to make those connections. But because of timing, someone would leave the city. We already had our recommendations on where to go and what to do, so connecting after the fact had its challenges. So I got home, told Blake about that story, and he said, well, why don't you guys connect before you arrived? The light bulb went off, and we both stayed up for the next 72 hours, and really...
So that was kind of an aha moment where the typical eureka had this as an idea, and it just kind of everything, all the ideas flood out, and cool.
Yep, we had basically our own hackathon at our house.
Awesome.
In the next 72 hours.
So is one of you a coder or developer?
No, but we partnered with 329 here in Sacramento, which is a development and graphic design company.
Okay.
Because we have the business sense, but we had to go out and make sure we're technologically sound as well. Mm-hmm. And when starting a tech company.
Okay. Very cool. So how did you go? So you had this great idea. It sounded like it came out of a need that you guys experienced. How did you go out and validate your market and validate that there were customers out there to build a business around?
Well, millions of people were connecting with people after arriving at their destinations. So we knew that there was a need for that social interaction and connecting. And then we did our research in seeing that, there was not a technology out there or a business out there that was allowing them to do and connect ahead of time before their arrival. And that's when the light bulb really started moving, and we saw the valuations of the companies that were connecting people after arriving, and we knew what we had on our hands was a big potential for a home run.
Mm-hmm. So the uniqueness about wimZr versus the others is they can connect before, during, and after rather than just after?
Correct. Yep. Exactly.
Awesome. So what are some big wins that you've had so far for wimZr?
We've had a lot of them. We've been used in 100 countries to date, 2,000 cities. We have over 150,000 screen views, 50,000 connection clicks. We have been the official event mobile application for celebrity basketball game here in Sacramento called the Mad Backer Celebrity Basketball Game. Mm-hmm. The Global Winter Wonderland here at Cal Expo, as well as at Tulare. And then we've also garnered a partnership with 91 Tequila, which is owned by Justin Timberlake. And we sponsor the American Century Golf Tournament at Lake Tahoe every summer. And so we have a really great following out there, and we've had millions of views on YouTube's and social media outlets, along with national and local media attention as well.
So you've had some big scores in media and social media.
Yeah.
So was that something you actively pursued as part of your marketing plan, or did that just kind of kismet kind of circumstance happen in filling your lap?
I'd say part of both. I was definitely actively contacting the media. The national media was very difficult to get a hold of to get a national piece. So I would say the national pieces really fell in place. And then the national or local media was more from contact driven. However, after being in the market, Sacramento's local media has been absolutely phenomenal in contacting us now for interviews and kind of seeing what's the updates with wimZr and
Awesome.
Constantly kind of seeing the updates for what we're doing.
Awesome. So can you talk a little bit about what stage you're in as far as funding or revenue? Are you revenue generating yet? What's your revenue model, that kind of stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. So we just started our revenue model this year in terms of having event organizers really benefit from wimZr being their official event mobile application. And that's been going really well thus far. And then in the future, we have the ability to connect people with the lowest airlines, hotel deals, anything that makes sense for them to know about. There's a possibility of receiving a transaction fee based off of their interests and needs for their travels, for their events. And I would say, adding on to that, our kind of tiers of thinking about monetization is: one, it always has to work for the user. Two, it has to work for the business that we're working with. And we get those two pieces, it'll always work for wimZr. So we're always actively making sure the user is always put first in terms of any monetization plan that we lay out.
So I think you presented at 1 Million Cups Sacramento a couple weeks ago here in this very building, and I think you mentioned that you're actually not looking for seed rounds or equity investment. You want to be a totally self-sustaining, driven off your own revenue. Is that correct?
Ideally, yes. We had a small families and friends of mine when the idea was on a napkin, and we were very thankful to our friends and family, as well as my partner and I both put up the first $10,000.
Bootstrapped.
And then ever since the launch, we've been self-funding it, and now we've found a revenue model that we're looking to really pursue. Never say never in terms of investments. If it helps us get to where we're looking to go, we'd be definitely open to it. But actively looking for an investment does take a lot of time, which takes you away from the product itself.
And that's a bit of a switch. I mean, a lot of startups, that's all they're focused on, is finding venture capital or angel or something.
I think if you have a good product, if you have the right traction, I believe people will contact you, and then I think there's a better conversation to be had with investors contacting you per se than actually actively looking for those investments as well. So I think there's a little bit of my personal beliefs is if you work on your product, you work on your growth strategies, it'll lead you to more of the correct path than maybe looking actively for an investor. But like I said, we're definitely open to an investor if it helps us get to the correct direction, help us get where we're looking to go.
So what are some key lessons learned along this journey of wimZr the last couple of years?
People, and it's all about the people you're involved with, I think. And I think if you have a great surrounding team, you're really going to be motivated every day to keep working, and really surrounding yourself with the best people, both intellectually, but also just nice, fun, outgoing people. You'll have fun going to work every day, and so I think just really surrounding yourself with the best people.
So lifestyle's a big component that's important to you, not rather than just making tons of money.
And ironically enough, that's also part of the thought behind wimZr as a business, or wimZr as an app as well. We believe it's not where you're going, but who you're with that really creates the best experiences of your life. So you could be on top of the Eiffel Tower, but if you're not with the best people around you, that experience might not be as great as if you have a lot of good friends around you, or in business, if you're going to a business event and you're networking in advance, you have a better, more efficient outcome of your business event as well.
So your business culture really carries over into the culture that you want your your customers to have when they're using your product.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
So what's next for wimZr?
Well, we just moved into Valley Extends, which is Larry Kelly's new incubator at McClellan Air Force Base. He brought in a person named Clayton Portia, who's really very smart in terms of sales and marketing.
Mm-hmm.
So we're looking to work with him on that end to really help our growth and looking to scale.
You're probably one of the first ones in there, aren't you?
Yeah, we were the first one in. We moved in about a week ago, so we're excited for that opportunity.
Awesome.
But we love being in Sacramento. We are a completely Sacramento-based company. We were 100% built in Sacramento, so we're looking to really expand into Sacramento's market a little bit more and be here.
So, speaking of Sacramento,
Yeah.
what do you think the Sacramento community can do? Is there anything the startup community in Sacramento can do to help wimZr?
I think the Sacramento startup community has been absolutely phenomenal. When we launched, it was when startup was around. So Laura Good, Dave Sanders, and everyone inside the startup community was just very supportive, and I think that was crucial for the first couple months to have that support system. People really kind of cheering you on. I think it helps you through some of the tough times that you will have during businesses. And I can't be more thankful to everyone in Sacramento that's actively growing the startup community. So I think you guys are doing spot on exactly what I think startups need, and I thoroughly greatly appreciate it.
Thank you. That's awesome to hear. So, kind of segueing on to other aspects of the Sacramento startup community, what do you think the strengths and weaknesses of the community here and the startup community here in Sacramento are?
Strengths, it's a great community. I think everyone's in it for the right reasons. Everyone's looking to really give to who is in front of them or who is around them in terms of going to the startup community events. That
give first mentality?
Yeah, it really is a give first mentality, and it's very rare to find a give first mentality when someone's actually not looking for anything in return. And I think that speaks volumes to the people here in Sacramento. That's why we like to stay here in Sacramento. And our goal, my partner is born and raised here in Sacramento. I'm born and raised here in Sacramento. The development company is right here in Sacramento, so we were literally built 100% in the city limits of Sacramento, and that's where we're looking to stay, and it's because of the people. And it comes back to,
So the people are the strength.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah, absolutely.
I think a lot of people would echo that. What do you think Sacramento as a startup community needs to grow and improve?
I think pairing startups with people who have been there and have done that in terms of selling a $100 million company, in terms of kind of connecting them with people who have been there and who have done that.
Mentorship?
Yeah, I think that's a big step. I know for us speaking, we have had the passion. We've been very successful in business, but the startup business is very different than anything else out there. And I think just pairing the passion, the great ideas with people who have been there and done that, I think would be a really solid advancement here in Sacramento.
Okay, I think some of that's along the way with IO Labs coming down pretty soon downtown here. Lots of other stuff in the pipeline.
Absolutely, yeah. Sacramento's doing all the right things. I think they built a phenomenal community, and what they're always doing is looking to make the community even better and better. And I think I love the Innovation Fund, the Rails program here in Sacramento. I think that was spot on for what Sacramento needed, because everyone that they really gave money to has always been helping all of the businesses. So while you're helping the people, helping the startups, there's a snowball effect to that. So I think it's just phenomenal what Sacramento's doing.
Good to hear. So anything else, or what advice do you have for other aspiring entrepreneurs looking to go down that entrepreneurial path?
Make sure you're passionate about the product that you're working on. Make sure it's an idea that you're willing to work on on a Friday night when your friends are out having a good time. Be dedicated and never give up. If you never give up, there will always be a chance. It really pushes through and becomes exactly what you have in your mind, or maybe even something better. And with wimZr, it's exactly the same thought process. Staying home on Friday nights, Saturday nights, whatever. Just do whatever it takes to be successful.
That's very similar to what last night we heard from Sherry Atwood from Support Pay.
Yeah.
Who was our keynote speaker here, and she lots exactly the same thoughts. Passion.
Yeah.
And do it for the cause, not for the money.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Just be obsessively passionate about what you're doing. I think it'll lead you to the right places.
Awesome to hear. Anything else you'd like to share? Any last thoughts?
Go for your dreams. Go for your dreams. There's a lot of people out here in Sacramento to support you. If there's anything I can do, more than welcome to contact me. If there's any ideas that you have, the community's here to support you as they've supported us, and we definitely have a give first mentality ourselves. So if there's anything that we can do for you guys, if you have questions on anything, please feel free to give me a holler. So, and I thank you so much to everyone in Sacramento for the support that they've given us, and we're looking to stay here for a long time.
All right, great to hear. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your time.
No problem. Thank you.